That's what I like to see. A nightmarish quantity of icons next to my character's portrait. Oh no, that's a bad one. Minus 15 fortitude, minus 8 damage reduction against freeze. Dang. There's savage attack, Lilith's shawl, zealous endurance. Some okay bonuses. Alright, let's go back to clearing out this entire map. Perhaps next starting with Valtis Mausoleum. You guys going north? Okay, good. Please don't go south. There's monsters down there. Right there, actually. We just found the key to this place. Call it just roleplay or whatever, because I'm sure that once my character says it's safe, it probably is safe, but I'm inclined to actually make it feel vaguely believable when I get the option. As much as the Dominel's situation has largely made that harder. Is that a person? Oh, that's Sada. She had a key to this place too, apparently. Huh. A little girl cowers in the back of the tomb. Her face is streaked with dirt, and even in the shadows you can tell she's far too thin. She watches you, holding her breath. It's all right. You're safe. She inches into the candlelight. Her clothes are little more than filthy rags now, but ripped and stained fabric looks like embroidered silk. You have to be quiet. Noise brings the hungry people. Has she been in here all along, hiding from those creatures? My name is Sada. Are you hiding from them too? She watches the door to the vault, her eyes wide and careful. Tell me what happened to you. Her eyes kind of distant look. Her legs start to tremble. Be strong. Think back to how this started. She takes a deep breath and stares at the stone floor. There was a big noise and light in the sky. Everyone thought it was a storm. But then people started waking up. After they died, I mean. She twists her shredded sleeves into knots. Mother and father and Emilio boarded up the door, but the hungry people found our house. Her fidgeting becomes more agitated. They fought, but the hungry people always get up again. They broke through the door, and Mother told me to hide. And then I came here to hide, but the door got stuck. And I didn't know when it would be safe outside. Who are the hungry people? She whispers. Her eyes are round with terror. The ones outside. They don't sleep or die, but they eat. You're Sada. I came across some Dargles in a house. The girl's eyes widen. You saw Mother and Father? And Emilio? How did you get away? Those aren't your parents anymore. She picks at a thumbnail, watching you. She nods slowly. Where's your family is a weird thing to ask at this point. Goodbye. Wait! She darts towards you. I can't stay here. Is it safe? Are the hungry people out there? I only have one option. I'm trying to intentionally not send them out until I clear it. It's still dangerous, but the path to the main gate should be clear. Run for it. I won't let anything catch me, I promise. Why is that the only option? I guess I could just intentionally not talk to anybody. But it's slightly weird that I can't be like, yo, I'll tell you when the coast is clear. Like, he even still, like, the fact that the dialogue says it's still dangerous, but, oh no, the path should be clear in that specific direction, hopefully, is like, that inherently should come with the extra suggestion of, hey, maybe don't. Maybe don't go yet, then. If the path isn't definitely clear. It's a small child. Athletics, boop. Oh no, it's time to pick a talent again. Wary Defender. Increases the fighter's awareness while in defender mode, granting a bonus to fortitude, reflexes, and will. +5 to all defenses except deflection. Yeah, because that's the one that gets -5. Having bonuses to the other one is helpful. Superior deflection, +5 deflection. That does help offset the other thing a bit. 5 is not amazing, but it's something. Weapon and shield style. +6 shield deflection. Shield deflection bonus also applies to reflex. Because it normally is just deflex, normally just deflection. But now this gives you a bonus to reflex also, which is your way of dodging AoEs. Putting on cautious attack makes him slower, but it even further increases his deflection, which is good when he's got a lot of targets on him. So that's tempting. Because he could just keep not taking hits. And these are all the, yeah, +10 defense against specific types of effects. Some of which I might want to have. And there's fortitude and reflex. Did I already get +10 deflection somewhere? I probably did, because superior deflection's down here for +5 more. This is the alternative, is to increase my one-handed weapon style. Or to try to start specializing in specific enemies, but he's not big on attacks. Honestly, taking interrupting blows is one thing that helps a tank, is being able to stop the enemy doing attacks at all. I think I'm torn between interrupting blows and weapon and shield style. Because +6 shield deflection is not a giant bonus, but having your shield deflection stat also apply to your reflex is a pretty big spike of reflex. And one of the bigger things that threatens tanks, there's probably two major ones. One of them is like mental crowd control, which is why Mental Fortress is worth taking to deal with like charm and stuff like that, that just takes your tank away. And then there's also AoE attacks. We learned during that, when the dragon was using fire attacks and stuff, it's like, oh, hello, giant area of effect nightmare attack that is going to destroy everybody. Let's do weapon and shield style. His shield has 20 deflection. Yeah, that is a very large bonus. Damn. I forgot how powerful shields were. Can I enchant it yet to be better? When I have a brain. If I only had a brain. And then I'll give it 4 more shield deflection. Taking it to 24. So yeah, 20 deflection from the fine large shield, and now reflex has nothing. Hey. I have to unpause. There it is. I just had to unpause so that it would calculate it. Yeah, so now, oh god. So he has a high fortitude in general, so fortitude defenses are already very high, but then now, yeah, now reflex is up there above fortitude and just short of deflection because of that 26 from the shield. Damn. Damn. And yeah, he's most vulnerable to will saves. So that'd be the next thing to try to prioritize to some extent. is just to hope I can try to fill that gap up. Yeah. Eder's scary. She has some pretty strong saves. He's pretty average, lots of 50s and stuff. Not incredible. And yeah, people kind of stagger around 50%. Anything they have above 50 tends to have other things that are below 50. Health saves are garbage. Nagini's not very impressive. Surprisingly, Durance specializes in fortitude saves, which you wouldn't expect. Yeah, Eder is just a nightmare. Concentrations of 87, 93, 99. Ah, Sagani's the most interruptible, which is rough because she has the slowest weapon. Where are we at on that? 4 out of 25. Okay. Well, she ran for it. Hope it worked out. Hey there, Durance. And it's time for another talent. And he has a lot of options, because he has so many priest talents. Yeah, I currently have 8 I have 8 priest talents to choose from right now. My god. Okay. The priest condemnations of the enemy become more apt, increasing the accuracy of his... Okay, so interdiction just has plus 10 accuracy. Yeah. So that's the one that dazes people for a while. So it'll just be more likely to hit. Painful interdiction. Channel their fury into the interdiction, adding a painful weakening affliction to the attack. Ooh. Nice. Why is it called... It's called painful, but doesn't do any damage. But yeah, bumping up interdiction to do daze and weaken would be nice. Fortitude and will are reduced by 20. Brilliant Radiance. That's the burn damage. And then vessels take increased burn damage. And that's the one that does not weaken the heal. The burn damage is bad. It currently does 65.8 burn damage. I take it that it's just going to add that to the top, which is not a huge bonus for the burn, and it's not much of anything for the it's not much of an attack at all against non-vessel enemies. Inspired Flame. The Faithful of Magron gain the accuracy bonus with Sword and Arquebus, and can cast a special version of... Yeah, that's the one. I don't specialize in either of those weapons right now, and I've bound a scepter to you at this point, so we're going to ignore that one. And this is the Radiance that makes you have a bunch of stats, and it just stops being a heal. Which, yeah. Not crazy about that one. I think Empowered Interdiction, no. That one's a good one too, but I think Painful Interdiction, having Interdiction also have a secondary effect, means that they'll be dazed and weakened, and it's just a really good... And a character that spams status effects on all of his allies and enemies, that's just another status effect to spam on all of his allies and enemies. And that makes me happy. Alright, so let's continue this path, because I already half discovered it.
Nice and quiet.
Why is Itumak in the front right now? How is Sagani in the front right now? The moment these formations hit any collision, they have no idea how to reconcile, and they put all the people in the back of the group in the front of the group, which is the worst answer. It's literally the worst answer in that situation, and they do it. Sagani is literally my back character, and she was in the front. The mausoleum has been sealed tight.
I'm ready.
Did I just put that stuff in her inventory? No. Yes? It was just money.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go there. I believe gems are counted the same way.
I shall be discreet.
Okay. Get him. That looks like a big one. There we go. That should help. Now you doing... Yep, you're doing your flame attacks like I want you to. Which you should be doing. And they're not gonna last. There it goes. There we go. Crockware, stale foodstuffs, and once priceless vases now chipped and cracked fill the wagon.
Yeah.
Didn't quite check through here. That's all there is. Huh. Well, that's interesting. It would appear that the walls around here are made of Adra. Or at least that's my guess, based on its coloration. I guess we have heard other references to the idea of mining it and working with it. And like people having relics and stuff like that that are made of Adra, so it's not like a thing that is eternal and trapped in its fixed location that you can't get off. We keep going further down. This area looks like a quarry almost. That's a lot of them. Skeletal wizard. Well, that's not something I want. That's not good at all. If you could reach the wizard, that'd be nice. You could both try to reach the wizard. Hey, one of them made it. Cool. They'll at least... Oh, and he's... And already Asker's been crit. Everyone focus the wizard. Okay. Let's do some Holy Radiance, which will damage all of the ghouls. You're going to want to lay on hands yourself, because you've been focused heavily. And I need to heal over time established to help with that problem. And which one of... Utumak? There you are. Alright, you fight Utumak's target, because you get a bonus for doing that. Alright. Interdiction time. Yes. Good. And we've already killed him. Good. Good. Does this do damage? Not really. It's pretty marginal. But if I wanted... Oh god, it's also tiny. Yeah, let's just wait for one more song. Then I can paralyze a bunch of dudes. That'll be best. Which means fighting this skeletal wizard down here that I didn't notice until just now is probably a pretty good call. Let's deal with the fact that this guy is on Aloth now. Who can use this to hold off the incoming attacks. What a nice AoE situation. I can't resist these kinds of moments. They're so tempting. And Skeletal Wizard number 2 is down. How nice. And we're running out of enemies. Let's summon some wisps. That'll be some fun. And it's yeah, this is over. Ow. That was so loud.
Sure.
That was bizarrely louder than everything else. Okay, we're good. Yeah, an unfortunate thing is that some games are designed in a way that if it plays several sounds at the same time, they all amplify in volume well beyond the normal maximum volume that the game is running at.
Yeah.
That's just unfortunate when that happens usually. It's like, ah ha ha! Some games are incredibly egregious at it.
Yeah.
Well, that looks like it's probably the source of everything, judging by the nightmare wizards and everything hanging out all around it. Oh yeah, looking around here, I probably have explored everywhere by now. I'll get back to that in a moment. And I think I'm going to be sending them on their way, because the surface is clear, at the very least. Huh, I was slightly worried that the child had just died right there. Let's see. I'm gonna go back in the mausoleum because I got distracted by the fact that the kid ran off. And I don't think I actually clicked around. And then I'll go free them from the ghoul. Like, I'm very sorry that you're dying of being a ghoul right now, miss. But that doesn't mean you get to eat people. That's not nice. Nested among the candles are the odds and ends of a patchwork family memorial. Valian Luce's a cameo etching of a woman in finery and a turquoise necklace. You're gonna die. Look, he's dead.
I fear we've lost the angry one.
I fear we've lost the angry one. What a fantastic line. Iridescent scarab figurine. Summon an Adra beetle once per rest. This Adra figurine is shaped like a small beetle. Its colorful shell catches the light in strange ways, changing hues as it's turned in one's hand. That's interesting. I fear we've lost the angry one. I'll clean you up. Ta-da! No, where did it go? Oh my god. We're gonna be selling items today. I don't see my inventory anywhere. It's not a quest item. Other? Clothing? Those are mostly helms. Oh, there it is. They put it amongst all of the consumables and stuff. These categories leave something to be desired. There's a few different categories that feel like they're missing. Clothing and armor and weapons, and that's it. And then other, but like, you don't want to mix equipable items with like fish in one category together. That's just strange. But yeah, this category puts pets with books with usable utility environmental objects. Which category is this? Really? That's interesting. That's why it's in that category, is that it's an equipped consumable. Yeah, you're the pet person, kind of. If I ever remember to use it. Won't that be a fun adventure, trying to remember to do anything ever? I've been using these so many times. We're cruising through fights. But then I get to a fight like that, that dragon, and then I don't remember that I have a weird back pocket of spells. The game showers you with certain consumables, like, almost too much. Alright. Well, the area should be nice and cleared out. But I think the quest for clearing the area out probably is dependent on you dealing with that area, wherever that door leads, which is probably also the origin of the whole thing. It's probably gonna get more fucked up from here on out. But before we do that, let's let these people go. The way to the district exit should be safe. Go now. Thank you. We'll never forget this. He's gonna be displeased with me. A minor reputation gain. How are we doing overall? Moderately good. Hey, maybe that's enough for Adair. It's surely something. I hope you didn't disturb them. Rounding them up was quite a chore. Huh. She's still not mad. Alright. Well, I thought this fight was going to happen organically, but I suppose it's time for a paladin to smite the vampire.
I hope you've gotten that out of your system.
She shows nothing more than a few scratches after your fight. Barely injured. You say barely injured, but... Get her!
I hope you've gotten that out of your system. I hope you've gotten that out of your system.
Why is she... What is
I
happening?
hope you've gotten that out of your system.
What the fuck? Okay.
You cannot venture forth while in combat.
Huh. I'll take that as a hint that the fucking dialogue box comes up every time you hit her. That I guess I'm not supposed to fight her? I guess the other hint is that she has voice acting, which is unusual. So her voice acting must indicate that she has a larger role to play in the story, so I'm gonna arbitrarily not stop the fact that there's a vampire-y lady that rounds up people to eat. There, that's the nice man who helped me. And thank the Iron Arm for it. We'll get you sorted out at the keep. I've been identified because I'm so cool. Yay. Go to Brackenbury. We'll deal with the keep later, but my first goal right now is actually to go down underground. Or wherever that wall leads. I just imagine a creepy underground dungeon full of rituals and necromancers or something.
Of all the things I've gotten used to, food was the hardest adjustment.
I quite agree. Deer wouldn't oversalt everything and drown it in sauce.
And they burn out all the flavor. Nothing like a raw deer flank.
Raw? That's Dominel, not the charred barrel. Oh yeah. How many in this party are Deerwoodens? Almost none of them. No, yes, no, no, yes, no, no. Yeah. I think Durance is from Deerwood. I don't know, he's tied to local lore at least, so he's definitely not new here. And Adair is from here. And no one else is, including me. I just want to take a rest before I go into the creepy dungeon, and there's no reason to spend a camping thing.
Sure.
If I'm right in town.
Good day, stranger.
Let's see your rooms. I guess this is the reason to camp, is that it costs resources to do this. Oh well. To intellect and wisdom. Our intellect and, what was it? Will is what it was. A fun detail of the way that this map works is that once you've been to a place and already tried the doors, you can just click on the nearest waypoint and use that one instead of actually navigating the city in a way that makes sense. So I go to Heritage Hill by going to Copper Lane, essentially. Like, these doors clearly have one answer of where they're supposed to lead to, and I'll intentionally click the wrong one because it's just closer. And it's all based on clicking on a map anyway. Here we go. The massive stone door of the tower is sealed, and there doesn't appear to be any way of opening it. Well, fuck me then, right? Alright. Guess we're done here. Still made sense to rest, but I was expecting something to happen. So we have two loose ends. We have the tower, and we have this unkillable ghoul lady that probably is involved in what happened here, if I were to guess.
Friend.
I see the stench hasn't driven you away yet. What's going on in there? Both guards look at each other. No, they don't. The other one left. Look, even if we were allowed to tell you, I don't rightly know. All I can say is it, whatever it is, started about 2 months ago. The guards that closed the gate talked of something unnatural that still wakes them in the middle of the night. I don't want to know any more than that. They actively don't want to look inside because anyone who has is really regretting the fact that they have that in their brain now. Alright, so we're going to make our first return to the Crucible Keep for a while. Since that time I dealt with the armor, which led down that whole path. And I should double check to see if there's stuff I haven't done yet there. I don't want to 100% remember, but I think I took care of a lot of stuff at... I think I explored the Crucible Keep at the time. But I'll look at the map and try to remember. Alright, so who do I need to talk to about these missions anyway? I'll just talk to you, see if it comes up. Oh yeah, we're still looking for this Aorn guy because I found a wanted poster once. I'm looking for information on Aorn. He crosses his arms and spits. Filthy little flea picker. What did you want to know? Do you know where he is? Rumors say he fled to the catacombs after he murdered the knight. As much as I'd love to string him up, I don't have anyone I can spare to go crawling in the filth to check for him. Yeah, the catacombs are one of the few places I have left to deal with. Actually, technically the only place I have left besides just progression of the story and Wetica and any follow-up I have in the keep now that I've dealt with what just happened over there, maybe. How did he manage to kill a Knight of the Crucible? I could never imagine that someone would ever do that thing that I've done. Now, there's a question. Witnesses say he was drunk and arguing with the man. If I had to guess, I'd say the sneaky bastard had a weapon on him and took the Justicar by surprise. The coward ran off before anyone knew what he'd done. That's all I wanted to know. Right. Well, alright, well that's that. He's probably in the catacomb, which makes sense because it's the only place left. It was either going to be the catacomb or it was going to be some chunk of the map that I've never visited yet. Basically. I need to find the right quests now. Speak to Wyla. There we go. Shit, she's not on the map. I think she was in the training room. Oh yeah. Hey, there's Sada and Wyla. Any news from Heritage Hill? Your guards were charmed by the spirit of a woman named Lyra. I've gotten rid of her. Her tired eyes grow round. By the flame, you found her. My missing commander. She heaves a sigh and loses her gaze among the floor tiles, and she was calling to the watch from beyond the grave. It doesn't make sense, but nothing in that accursed district does. What happened to the soldiers under her spell? All of your knights are dead. Train them better next time. Jesus Christ. They didn't make it. I see. Nevertheless, thank you for your help. You've left me with many questions as many questions as answers, but at least I know what happened to my troops and Commander Lyra. Please, accept this as a token of my gratitude. If there's nothing else, I must attend to my duties. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I tried. Yep. I really did try to keep them alive. Then it looks like she's had a bath and a few square meals. She smiles shyly. That's nice. Who do I tell about the fact that I found the will and everything? And she owns everything? I feel like I should bring that up to someone. Alright, so Eder, Durance, Kana, Mother, Agosti. That's Pelagina. Bring the spark to... oh yeah, so to bring the spark. Okay, so we need to go to the... we need to go to... we need to go to the temple of Magran, and we need to go to the archive for Eder. Those are the main two things. Huh. I just... I guess that's over with, huh? That was brief. I don't know, I guess I built it up in my head over time. Like, oh, we're gonna go liberate an entire district of this town from a zombie apocalypse, and everyone will totally care that I did it. It's like, you get a slight rep boost, I guess. And that one person's like, yo, thanks. Here's 1,000
So those
experience.
feathers, that's a blessing of Helia?
So they say.
Well, that's lucky. Where I'm from, we see a feathered lady, we start worrying maybe her dad got frisky with his hens.
I guess you can always trust a farm boy's head to go there first.
Oh shit, you think about fucking animals is the joke. I didn't want to come here, but my village wasn't safe anymore. Eder really doesn't have a filter. But it's not like I'm an asshole and I say what I want kind of filter. It's just like he doesn't think about any of the things he's saying about other people's physical appearance and stuff like that, because he's just doesn't even think about it.
Gods keep you.
May be guided and tempered by the flame. I journeyed to the Searing Falls myself. This is what I found there. She takes the stone in her hands and gasps. By the flame, do you know what this is? It's a fragment of the Godhammer bomb. Yes. She turns it in her hands. The very weapon that Magran herself helped us to build to defeat Wadwin in the Saints' War. She turns the stone in her hands, gazing into its bright glow. It's weird, seeing it right in front of you like that. Before it was just stories. Never seemed real. Yet her mouth twists into a frown and the orange light carves deep shadows across her face. So why don't I feel any differently? What good does this do? Her knuckles whiten as she tightens her fingers around the stone. She entrusted the Godhammer to her followers. Perhaps she's trusting them again to end the legacy. Transformation through trial. She turns the stone in her hands. It isn't an easy answer, but I would expect no less from my goddess. This woman hasn't been tried at all. Would that we were alone, I would take it upon myself to instill real transformation. Jesus Christ. As she looks at the stone, a flame springs from its raised hand. One of the things I've always loved about Magran is her affinity for fire. How it grows and spreads. You feel the warmth from the fire rippling across the room. You've given me what I need. I'll make sure to give the people of Defiance Bay the support they need. Heh. So Durance just got proven wrong. Just so we're clear. Because he seems to be consistently full of shit, and he has all the wrong implications, which is probably why he doesn't have a good relationship with his god, despite all of his insistence that he's the only one that understands her. Because the flame just was Like, there we go. Trial complete. The flame has returned at a long last. An actual sign of the gods has proven her right. Now, let me give you something you might need. She disappears, returning quickly with something in her hands. A weapon worthy of the goddess herself. Please accept it as thanks for your service to Magran, and to me. Thank you. Farewell. There we go. The flame is restored after months of being gone. And I guess that means it's going to be spread throughout all of the, like, the entire area? It's, oh, the text hasn't updated. I take that I take that to mean that every statue is now going to have that. Unforgiven. One-handed flail. 30% of grazes are converted to hits. That's a lot of grazes. And it's exceptional quality, and it has burn damage. What do you have again? I have the rapier on you right now, measured restraint. Ah, +1 enemies engaged, +5 accuracy. And it's enchanted with anti-kin. But while that one is while that one has accuracy 3, this one has exceptional, which admittedly only is a +1 and +2 damage to its 2 stats. But 30% of grazes becoming hits is pretty neat. I guess that's why it's called the Unforgiven. The origin of this item is a point of contention among the followers of Eothas and Wetica. Eothasians claim that their priests had it commissioned in the early aftermath of the Saints' War in hopes that it would coax their god back into the world to finish what he started. Weticans, on the other hand, claim that the item is older than that, an instrument of retribution against oathbreakers originally employed by the Steel Garrote, an order of Wetican paladins devoted to the enforcement of oaths and contracts, often in mirthless fashion. The flail itself is unique, in that the spiked ball at its end was fashioned out of an incense burner, and when it sees vigorous use, the smell of incense blankets the area. Its reputation has led to a handful of notable deceptions, whereby people who'd defied their agreements were frightened into honoring them when the smell of incense was introduced to the negotiation room or bedchamber. Wow. It's a long backstory for a weapon. Neat. Not too hard to re-enchant Kith. Let's go for it. I guess I already had a flail, didn't I? Gon's share. Ba-boom. Switch these two real quick. That's a cool looking weapon. Actually, it looks a little silly. The 3D model, I mean, at this... the way they're perfectly equidistant and everything. Yeah, they only have so much polygon count to work with these models. Okay. So it has burn, and it has attack speed. 20% attack speed, goddamn. Bonus against humans and so on. It's exceptional, and 30% of grazes are converted to hits. It's about as enchanted as a weapon can get. So that's neat. Seem to have some levels to accomplish here. Sagunny. Always stealth. And a bit of mechanics. And here we are again. Penetrating shot. Yeah, I probably want to get reload speed at this point. I'll double check the other ones too, but I should probably be getting Gunner just to deal with the fact that she has a hell of a reload speed to deal with. Savage attack. Marksman. Trains the ranger's animal companion in vicious tactics, deal more damage, and penetrate damage reduction with each hit. Let's just make them stronger. Hmm. 5 DR would probably help with Ichimok, who keeps dying sooner. I'm somewhat torn. I think I'm gonna go with this for now, though. Gunner. 20% reload speed. I thought there was one that makes her attack faster or something. Did I lose track of that or something, or did she already buy it and I forgot? There's so many of these. Okay, I checked because I was curious and confused. Because I was thinking of an ability called Swift Aim, which increases my reload speed and attack speed, which now that I'm more and more noticing just how devastatingly slow she is with this weapon, but how strong she is, I think that that's probably worth getting. But it's an ability, not a talent. So that's the confusion. Because what a talent is and what an ability is can have a lot of overlap. Once an ability that's like a very obvious, like, ah, this is my new spell or something like that, then it's more obvious. But like there are modal toggle talents and modal toggle abilities that are, and passives and so on. And so which ones are which can be easy to mix up sometimes. So I was going to go with Gunner. Crossbows, arbalists, and all firearms. Anything that has a reload speed. Make it faster. There we go. So that should be nice. She, of course, is using a crossbow. Arbalist. Good thing they're both the same category as far as that thing matters, or I could have been in trouble there. Does it not even show up as a talent? Gunner, there it is. Yeah. Arbalist. Okay, so we're good. You again. Let's get you a point of survival, so you can at least get damage reduction with everybody else. Otherwise, it's sad. You might want to do increased healing received multiplier. Yeah, let's give her 2 points. Because if she has the healing multiplier, she can heal herself more, which really makes her more powerful. Talents! Ah! Everyone learns talents at the same levels, which means I have to do that. It means I spent a lot of time in this tree. 25% bonus damage as burn from Flames of Devotion. It's already 50%, so that'll make it 75% damage as burn. Making that attack stronger is nice. But I could also go for higher damage and other things like that. It is crazy thinking that she's a pretty strong tank and she's not even using a shield, which maybe she should be using. I'm a little concerned about specializing in particular weapons, mainly because I'm a little worried that I might decide to change her specialty at some point. I mean, she is a tank, so +1 enemy engaged would be a good thing. Above all else, she should probably have that. Just like anyone in the main line that's trying to stop them from destroying all the casters. Yeah. It's not as sexy as fire damage, but it's important. You've got the Hold the Line talent. You've got Hold the Line. Do you have Hold the Line yet? No. Savage Attack, Interrupting Blows, Two-Handed Style, Ancient Memory. Different specialties. Also useful, but no Hold the Line. But between the three of them, they could actually, well, hold the line, as the Solarian said. And And Elroth is lagging behind due to his vacation from the party.
How do you do?
I'm looking for militia records from the time of the Saints' War, trying to find out what happened to someone. The man clears his throat. That's the same dialogue. For the first time, he turns his full attention toward you and his eyes flicker in recognition. Of course, that policy is for the general public. Exceptions can be made for those who have already proven their worth. There we go. I passed the threshold. He looks up at a shelf and withdraws a thick volume, shifting a layer of dust aside with his hand. The rosters are in the front, the inventories of the dead in the back. He passes to Eder's outstretched hands. Eder leafs through the book for some time, anxiously, running his thick farmhand's fingers over page after page of names. At last, his hand stops, his fingers just below one name.
Woden Talesh died 18 Majavernho 2808. Third Battle of Cleaban Relog. Blazing Glonfather names, I swear. Rayet Saris?
He stops short, his eyes bulging.
I'll be the effigy. He fought for Rayet Saris. Why'd he fight for Rayet Saris?
He stares at the page, his jaw agape before suddenly looking up at you. I'm sure he had a good reason. I am too. He stares at the page, his complexion drained. I am too.
We gotta go there. That battlefield. Clea, the one I said. I don't know how else I'm gonna make sense of all this. I gotta see what he saw. And who knows, maybe his spirit will even be there and you can have one of your weird talks with him. I mean, worth trying, right?
I'll help you any way I can.
I appreciate that. I wish I could say you won't regret it, but you certainly might.
Ooh, seek out the Saints' War battlefield. Where is that? Cleaban Relag. Where the fuck is that? Is it back where we came from? Is it... I was seeing on lease. Was the place I thought of at first. It definitely helps so I know where it is, dude. Shit.
Hey.
Let's have a chat. Maybe it'll come up. Defiance Bay is... Well, it's not exactly what I was hoping. Say that you want... Say what you want about Gilded Vale. At least they could all... they could all agree they wanted to hang me. That's a strange standard to hold to. The man busies his slender hands filing scored books and rolls of dusty parchment according to some obscure yet deliberate scheme.
Right.
That sounds like me. Obscure yet deliberate with my book sorting. In that... I have a bunch of cubbies where different cubbies are different series, but then the rest of it's just filled with whatever fits there, because obviously not everything is a series. Most things, in fact. There's just a dominant thing that, like, I want all of these, I want this series to be in one thing together. So they start off filling the cubby, and then the rest fills everything, is just filled with random shit.
Son of a moose fucker.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry. Kalu's always telling me to watch my language, especially around the kids. Guess I haven't had a reminder in a while.
What happened?
One of them heard me tell a joke about a glam-felon youth with frostbite somewhere sensitive. Kids repeat everything.
I meant just now.
Jam my thumb. Nothing big.
Son of a moose fucker. So now I'm visiting a travel spot. And yeah. Nope. It would seem that once again I just have to wait for the part of the story where that shows up. Or I have to hear a clue about where it might be. So to Copper Lane it is. That's where the catacombs are. Our final bit of, what do you want to call it? Procrastinating. To think, in my short playthrough before, I'd already made it further than I have in the story in this one. It's just funny to think about. Didn't go well.
You've been on your own for 5 years.
I've had Ichima.
But you can't talk to him.
My standards changed around year 2.
My standards changed around year 2. You can't talk to him. I'll show you. I'll show you. But yeah, after the first layer of sorting is applied to my books, it then becomes what fits in the shelf, and then once I figure out what fits in the shelf, I sort that shelf by height of book, how tall they are, and it's got to be so infuriating to people, but it looks better to have like a diagonal gradient across the shelf of everything being sorted by height, if nothing else. And it's not a fucking, for me, I'm thinking like it's not a giant library building. Like everything will fucking, you can find anything really easily if you know what you're looking for. So it's not like you need to sort them by like alphabetically. That's for like a building or something. As you approach the dead man, you can feel the faint traces of his soul lingering, a stunned uncertainty holding it in place. When you near, without warning, the soul hurries toward you, as though you were a solitary light in the dark gloam of this place, come to usher it away. Its essence invades your consciousness. You are in a different body now, walking deeper into the catacombs, cloaked in a dark robe with a mask pulled over your face. You're following a familiar path along the canal, heading to a room built around a statue of a figure wearing a robe much like yours. Others await, clothed in hoods and shadows. Ahead is another figure dressed like you, traveling in the same direction. You don't know his name, and that's how it's supposed to be. Out of the darkness, something monstrous grabs the other figure. You turn to flee, but you find yourself face to face with a troll. The panic pounding through your brain is interrupted by razor-edged teeth and claws. You snap yourself out of the dead man's memory. The corpse lies on the damp and grimy ground. His hood and mask are missing, and his clothes are shredded. As you regain awareness of what's happening around you, you realize that your head is in Palagina's feathered hands. Her golden eyes are peering into your own, as though she's trying to catch a glimpse of activity lurking in the depths. As she sees your eyes respond, she wobbles your head a little and gives you a little slap. Letting go, and stepping back, she regards you with concern. Everything going all right in there? Right. I keep having new party members that haven't seen me do that yet, and so they all have their individual reaction to the first time I look like a fucking lunatic. Alright, welcome to the catacombs. What does the flame reveal? It reveals what was there. Oh, hi. Troll's just wandering in. All creepy-like.
Let's go.
Fuck him up. Oh no, Itumok's the first to arrive. That's not the best. Oh. Hello. Additional Uzi problems have arrived. There we go. Oh, immune to that. But we're fine. A first taste of blood. Do either of those things bleed? Trolls vary. Sometimes they're like weird tree creatures. And I would say oozes don't. Or at least they don't bleed blood. Unless they're made of it. Yeah. Yeah, unless they're made of it, I suppose. It's about time for one of these. The white that wends. How long have I been wandering? I can no longer tell. The day is an endless white, the cold breath of the wilderness biting at my neck. All I feel is the insistent hand of the wind pushing me forward. Where is it taking me? Where did it start? On the boat? Was there a boat? I can't remember one. No, I remember one. A storm. A disaster? If I dwell in it long enough, my mind rebels. So I walk, and she appears to me. How many times has it been? Once? Have I seen her before, or is this the first time? Did she ever leave? All my mind can do is ask questions. Each question leads to another question. The answers frighten me. So I walk. She stands with her head cast down. Long white hair hangs in front of her face, obscuring it from my view. She holds out a hand, pale, thin, palm up. She wants my help. She wants my soul. Something screams, inhuman and primal. It overtakes me from behind, wrapping me in a terrifying blanket of sound. My skin contracts as chills course through me. I turn to face my pursuer and only see a vast white emptiness. She is gone. Like every time before. Was this the first time? Has she gone before? My stomach answers with a growl. Hunger. The beast consumes me from the inside and there's no stopping it. I must eat. I see water. Am I seeing it now? Is this a memory? Confusion slips its fingers inside my head and murmurs softly. I cannot quite hear it. I strain to no avail. The water remains. It must be here. I drop to my knees and hear the whisper, light crack of the ice beneath my knees. I am sitting in the lee of an ice mountain. The protection it provides does little to prevent the wind from driving the pins of snow into my flesh. I am shaking. Where is my left hand? I move it. Nothing. I look down and see it moving. It is wet and caked with ice. My head falls back against the ice and I press the edges of my memory. My brain whispers back. Oopsie. No. My head falls back against the ice and I press the edges of my memory. My brain whispers back with a soft cracking sound and a scream, wood on wood, tearing, cracking. I close my eyes against the onslaught. She appears before me again. Again? Time fragments and blows around me, like the snow that obscures my vision. I am walking. My hand is on fire. I feel the needles piercing my fingers as she reaches hers out to me. She raises her head, black eyes staring blankly. Her mouth opens and closes, but if she speaks, I cannot hear it. The scream again, closer this time. If I still had emotion, I would be quaking. I turn, as I have so many times before, to see what monster has found me, and she is there behind me. She puts her hand on my chest. The cold burns through my clothes. She leans in, her mouth presses against my ear. We are waiting. I open my eyes. I lie on the ground. I see torn fabric, rocks, a broken wooden box, an unsuccessful campfire. Where did it come from? Did I make it? How did I get here? I roll onto my back, unable to stand. Exhaustion sits on my chest and holds me down. She stands above me. I see frozen tears on her cheeks. She does not move. She does not threaten. But I know this is the end. Her mouth opens. The inhuman scream that erupts from within her digs through the blackness that shrouds my mind, and I see her. The wood that tore beneath her feet. The water that swallowed her. She fades, replaced by the face of the devil that has followed me. Was it always there? In my madness, did I view it in a different form? Is anything in my mind true? Time bleeds. My vision shimmers, distorting the face that approaches. Its dark eyes watch closely as it walks forward. Its fur is matted and stained, its fangs glisten in the fading light. Its enormous hands, tipped with jagged blades, rise above my head. I close my eyes. I am coming. So he's delirious, and it's hard to say why, for sure. In this universe, it could be a creature that maybe uses illusions to distract and confuse people and lead them to their dooms in the wilderness, like a will-o-wisp might in many cases. Maybe some kind of hunting creature. Or it might be that he just straight up was losing his mind as he was dying in the tundra and the frozen wastes. The losing all feeling in his arm, while it was moving, but he couldn't feel that it was moving, and so he looked down and saw it was moving, and then later on it was on fire. That's frostbite. That's him losing his body to the cold. And he might have just been delirious so much that he was stuck on a memory. Because it seems like the woman he was imagining seems to have been somebody who fell through the ice and was lost. And so that's what she was thinking of. And she said that she was waiting, and then he said, I'm coming. So it's probably that's probably somebody he cared about that fell through the ice and died, and that's where he's going now. Could have even been a coincidence. Or just a hunter that bides its time, like a wolf or something that waits for a weak creature to just collapse in the tundra and then feeds. So he might have just been wandering out into the wilderness and there was zero supernatural elements of any kind, and he probably wasn't wandering. He probably had some kind of goal originally, but he's lost it. He's probably just dying out in the ice, and a creature had been following him for a while, knowing that he was not going to make it and waiting for the time to strike with the lowest risk. And then the time happened, and then he died. Except it's written down, which means it's fiction. Like, it's worth noting that's in a book, so it can't be the first person account of somebody who died in that moment. So either he somehow survived and the book weirdly doesn't include that moment, or I've stopped reading for some reason, or it's fictional to begin with. And so it's a fiction within a fiction. Of course, it's all fictional because this is a video game, but even in a universe, that's a fiction, as far as I can tell. Captivating, though. Reminded me of, was it the Whisperers? The Whistlers. Yeah. The No Sleep podcast. I listened to the episode on the Whistlers, and that was that one's memorable. If you want some memorable horror, check out the No Sleep podcast episode for the story of the Whistlers, because that sticks around in my mind. It's been a few years. I listened to that at my old job. That was ages ago, and I'm still thinking of it now whenever ice related horror comes up.